Some new developments today in the controversy over Israel's decision to ban the visit of Congresswomen Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar. The president's urging. A Democratic aide tells NBC News House Democrats are now considering a number of options to determine what role the U.S. ambassador to Israel, David Friedman, played in that country's decision. Thursday, Ambassador Friedman released a statement supporting the decision, writing that the movement to boycott Israel is, quote, no less than economic warfare designed to delegitimize and ultimately destroy the Jewish state. Join me now, Congressman Steve Cohen, a Democrat from Tennessee, also a member of the Judiciary Committee. Welcome, my friend. Good to see you. Let's get into this here, because given what the ambassador suggested, was the intent of your colleagues in the House to Congress members Omar and Tlaib, do you think that the ban was warranted, given what you think their intent of the visit?
I'm not quite sure what their intent was. They were going to visit in the occupied territories of in Ramallah and I think Hebron and maybe Bethlehem, and Jerusalem, which is partially occupied. And they, I think it would have been good for them to visit, and I think it would have been good if they would have visited Israel. I don't know that Israel proper. I don't know if they were going to or not. I think this has hurt the Israeli government, and it has really helped the efforts of Omar and Tlaib to show Israel as being less than a open, democratic government that encourages and supports tolerance and free speech and free ideas. The only other countries that I know that have banned United States congresspeople have been Russia. Saudi Arabia tried to ban Henry Waxman but relented, and South Africa during apartheid. And I don't think Israel should be in the category with those countries, and I think it was a mistake. And I think it all relates to the election of in September of Netanyahu, who has got problems with getting reelected, and he'll, like Trump, do anything to promote his candidacy over the best interest of his country. And it's a shame that we have politicians now that are more interested in their own political future than their nation's best interest. And Israel needs the United States, and it needs all of its allies, and it needs to have a strong face. And I understand. I voted against the BDS ban recently. Most all Congress people did. But this gives it legitimacy. In terms of your statement, I'm going to get back to the U.S. perspective, but your statement about how this hurts Israel, Congresswoman Tlaib writes, quote, if you truly believe in democracy, then the close Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu with Trump's hate agenda must prompt a reevaluation of our unwavering support for the state of Israel. Do you agree with that? Do you think Congress will revisit current U.S. policy toward Israel? No, I don't think we will, because both Democrats and Republicans in overwhelming numbers support Israel. We do not support Netanyahu. We have questions about the ambassador, Mr. Dermer, but those are individuals, and their time will come and go, and Israel needs to survive, and Israel needs to stand as a nation forever. How about the McClatchy report that says Democrats in Congress are considering a statement of no confidence against Israel's ambassador to the U.S., Ron Dermer? I mean, have you heard from your colleagues about that? And even if you haven't, would you support any congressional action along those lines? I haven't heard anything about it. I'm not sure what their logic is, but I'm afraid it plays. We need to be strong, because this is a wrong-minded action by Israel, and it was a wrong-minded action by Trump and/or Ambassador Friedman to engage in it. I could see requesting an IG report on Friedman's responsibilities, because his duty and job should be to facilitate of all Americans, but particularly Congresspeople's travels to the nations that they are the ambassador to. So he might have, it looks like he would have, if he was involved, he violated his duties in the job that the State Department generally does so well. But I don't think going into the floor is a good idea. I think it divides the Congress, it divides the Democrats, it heightens the issue, it gives Trump something to work on. We need to be concerned about removing Trump, and the Israelis need to be concerned about removing Netanyahu. All right, happening today across this country, including in your own state there in Tennessee, we are following the gun control rallies. The president has supported expanding background checks, but then pivoting somewhat on Thursday to turn the focus on mental health. Take a listen.
We are working very hard to make sure We keep guns out of the hands of insane people and those who are mentally sick and shouldn't have guns. It's not the gun that pulls the trigger. It's the person holding the gun.
As I said before, that last line there is a classic NRA talking point. But are you concerned the president moves away from supporting background checks? I mean, is this the end of the push for background checks now?
You never know what Trump will do. He changes from minute to minute, tweet to tweet. The fact is he is a prisoner of the NRA lobby. He showed it when he met with the Parkland High School parents and other survivors in the White House, and said he was going to stand up. He wasn't afraid of the NRA, and he was going to stand up and do some strong. He didn't do anything. At the last minute, I don't know if it's the last minute, he crumbled or he lied to the parents at Parkland, from Parkland High School. He's not going to do anything. We need to have the background checks bill and the Charleston loophole bill that the House passed that Mitch McConnell is not scheduling. They need to be heard. We're having hearings in Judiciary Committee on September the 4th to look into issues concerning further background checks, more extensive, to look into a ban on high-capacity magazines.
Aren't you coming back early for that particular hearing? You guys are coming back from summer break early.
Yes, we're coming back early to have that hearing.
Yeah, which shows the significance of it.
Yeah, it's particularly important and significant. People are dying. And Trump can say that the guns don't pull the trigger, people pull the trigger. Well, that's just using a line, and he shouldn't be using simple lines. He should be dealing with the issue. The man can't deal with real issues because it's all politics with him, whether it's, we've traveled around the world, and almost every country and every leader in the world is in favor of the Iran nuclear agreement. They're in favor of the Paris Climate Accords. They are concerned about the tariffs that we have with China and the effect it'll have on the economies of all the countries in the Indo-Pacific area, and Indo-Pacific all throughout Southeast Asia and everywhere else in the world. The only person who doesn't think this way is Trump. He is out of line with everybody. We should be operating in concert with our allies to bring pressure on China, not acting unilaterally. We should be in the Paris Climate Accord and be concerned about the terrific cost of climate change, and we ought to be concerned and still be involved with the Iran nuclear agreement and not having the tensions that we're having right now in the Straits of Hormuz with the threat to cutting off navigation rights to vessels bringing oil out of the Middle East. So Trump is just out of line, and he's going to stay out of line because his politics come before our nation, and it comes before the world's security. We're in a precarious position, and we've got a president and an administration that are not capable of dealing with it. That 800-point drop in the Dow, that was Trump. That was Trump.
Instability for sure. Congressman Steve Cohen, good to see you. Thank you so much.